Welcome back to the MLS Review Show. The Red Bulls head to the unfamiliar territory of Geraldwin Field. But first, the loser goes home as the USA and Jamaica play in the Gold Cup quarterfinals. With Jamaica coming off an impressive group stage, it was certainly not a given that the U.S. would come away winners on Sunday. A travel-weary Landon Donovan started the match on the bench. Within 10 minutes, however, Bradley would be called on to make another change, this time due to injury, as Josie Altidore pulled up lame. After a scoreless first half, Jermaine Jones gave the Stars and Stripes the 1-0 lead in the 49th minute. Clint Dempsey would tack on the second goal from the U.S. in the 80th, finishing off a well-played low cross by Juan Agudelo. With the win, the U.S. moves on to the semifinals where they'll take on Group C foes Panama in Houston on Wednesday. New York headed to the Pacific Northwest for the first ever meeting with expansion side Portland Timbers. Geraldwin Field has not been kind to visitors so far this season. However, Thierry Henry and the Red Bulls were itching for a second straight win and a chance to reassert themselves in the East. Dwayne De Rosario was inserted straight back into the lineup after returning from Canada's Gold Cup run. Young midfielder Austin Deleuze had shined bright in the past two games and was handed his third straight start for Baca's boys. With 3 straight losses, 2 of which came at home, Portland had sunk to 8th in the West. The worries would get worse for the Timbers as they lost central defender Footy Danso to a shoulder injury in last week's loss to Colorado. With head coach John Spencer suspended for his criticism of the referee against Colorado, the men from the Rose City would have to implement new ways to get his forward pair the ball as they hunted for their first win in 3 weeks. John Strong and Robbie Earle had the call from a rocking Geraldwin Field.
And we are underway. The Portland Timbers trying to bust out of their first 3-game losing streak as an MLS side. Shut out in back-to-back games for the first time as well. Henry again. It's all first-time passes from him early on to send De Rosario forward. Back for Henry. Lets it go. And it's New York's opener. And it's Austin Deleuze who scored it.
Out wide to De Rosario. Then you'll see Henry just step over the ball as it comes into the box. That just gets the Timbers on the back foot, and De Rosario just there with the time. It's a wonderful step over.
Henry now running forward. Bellucci, return pass, Thierry Henry onside, and it's a good job by Troy Perkins to knock it behind for a corner kick.
That was excellent reading of the situation by Troy Perkins. That deep position, he makes a run, gets in behind the back line, and Perkins is aware and he's alert.
Big throw from Jeremy Hall. It's away by Soley. It's Dewsbury! And it is 1-1!
He takes a touch, he gets his head down, and he hits the target. We talked about that early in the broadcast. To make sure, take a little less power and a little more accuracy. He does both and brings Timbers back into the game.
Dewsbury to take. Bruno got on the in and out! Are you kidding me? It's 2-1 Portland!
Bruno does ever so well to keep this alive, and look at this for skill.
Chicharito's got nothing on Kevin Goldthwait.
It's a back heel from Goldthwait.
Dewsbury in, Sutton is up, and it's saved off the line. We see Sutton go up.
You'll see there, and it's Tainio with the acrobatic stop. How big is
Khalif Al-Assad. Dewsbury through the traffic. Great save, Greg Sutton. It's Perlaza onside. He is. Sutton stays at home. Perlaza! Own goal!
He times his run perfectly. He waits to go inside, and he's trying to find his teammate Kenny Cooper. And it's Stephen Keel who inadvertently puts the ball into his own net.
Henry from Limper. Henry again has scored, and it's 3-2.
He lays the ball, he kicks and goes. He's always on the move, and then his eyes on the ball.
But then a giveaway. Jorge Perlaza's onside. Perlaza has Cooper with them. Referee points to the spot. Penalty kick, Portland Timbers.
Big moment in the game. You'll see that here there is enough contact. I think Palaxa's happy to go down.
Off the post. But Peter Manikowski, who's the assistant on this near side, raised his flag, alerted the referee. And now Ricardo Salazar, what's he going to do about this?
I think this is a case of over-officiating. I think
he's reaching for the back pocket. That's a red card. A red to Henry and just a yellow to Adam Moffat. It was not quite what he wanted to do with it, because it's going to fall for Dwayne De Rosario. It's at handball. The linesman signaled for it. It's going to be a penalty kick for the New York Red Bulls in the 5th minute of second half stoppage time.
This is a huge call. I think De Rosario gets to the byline, and when he whips it in, it certainly hits the arm.
It's extended out.
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty.
And the Red Bulls may have just saved a point at the death here in Portland.
Rosario is always confident. Perkins goes the right way, but can't get his hands to the ball.
With the Timbers up 3-2, Jack Dewsbury putting a penalty kick off the post, and that is full time.
The standings in the Eastern Conference stays relatively unchanged this week. New York moves 1 point ahead of Philadelphia with their draw against Portland. Columbus moves 2 points away from first with their victory over Houston, and Sporting continues to dig out of their early season hole with a win against San Jose. Out west, the Galaxy stay 6 points up on Dallas after both teams won away from home this weekend, while Seattle remains 3 points back of Dallas in third place, thanks to Freddie Montero's late free kick goal. In the race for the Golden Boot, Thierry Henry has drawn level with Landon Donovan on 8 goals, and Charlie Davies converted a penalty kick against RSL to draw one behind the leaders, now on 7. Brek Shea scored for the second time in 2 weeks, meaning he joins the pack at 6 goals. Next week's nationally broadcast action starts off with Seattle hosting New York on Thursday night. That game can be seen at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. On Saturday, Galavision will broadcast DC United against the Houston Dynamo at 6 p.m. Eastern, and Fox Soccer Channel is where to find San Jose against Los Angeles starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. On Sunday, be sure to watch the Chicago Fire against the New York Red Bulls from Toyota Park on ESPN at 2 p.m. Eastern. The Week 15 schedule kicks off on Wednesday with Philadelphia hosting Kansas City and Chicago hosting Real Salt Lake. On Saturday, Dallas will take on Portland from Pizza Hut Park, and the weekend comes to a close from Columbus, where the Crew will host Colorado at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for Week 14 of the MLS Review Show. Thanks for joining us, and remember to visit MLSsoccer.com for full coverage of all the news in Major League Soccer.